think we're good. I think we're live.
All right, we're live.
I
Episode
can't hear
one.
you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, we're live. Episode one. The Lion in the Heart podcast. For all you awesome nerds out there, what is going on? YouTube, what's up? Everyone who follows us on Twitch, what's going on? DOA community, what's up? So, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Just cool. I've been wanting to start a video game podcast for a while. It's cool that you approached me to do it. So I'm pretty excited about it. And it's not just about video games; it's about a whole bunch of other stuff. And then whatever we're thinking or what's on our mind, and what's been going on in our week, what we're going on. Hopefully, we're aiming for it to be a weekly podcast. That's kind of where we're at. This is the first episode, so we're gonna have some technical issues. I don't know what those issues are gonna be until later when I'm editing it, but we'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but what have you been up to, man? How's your what's your goal for this podcast? Because you're the one that approached me about it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I wanted to give people a different take than I guess what they're used to. I think a lot of podcasts are very samey and they have the same energy. I figured since you are a pretty talented individual and I think you have a voice that's ready to be heard across various platforms and I'm a fan of your content, I figured we could put together something good. And I think you're
Cool.
fairly consistent with, you know, what you
I
do on
I
YouTube and
try to
whatnot.
be, but dude, I make like a video a month right now. It's the
That's only
worst thing
because you were
ever.
working on getting like a new laptop and stuff, so you were kind of upgrading your stuff. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
yeah. Right now, I've been messing with this capture card over here, which AverMedia Bolt, $450, about 500 after tax. I don't know if
Holy
I can
shit.
really recommend it to people. um, but the next consoles they're gonna have 120 FPS or at least simulated 120 FPS. So I'm trying to future proof myself for the next like 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah. So getting right into that, how do you feel about like the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X? What you thinking about those?
The Xbox Series X is a mini cooler, and then the PS5 is straight up a Wi-Fi router. In fact, I've seen that Wi-Fi router at a friend's house.
Yeah, I like those memes. They're pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy how weird. I mean, I like the way the Xbox One looks because it looks a lot more like looks like a PC tower.
It
It looks
does.
like a cool PC tower.
Yeah, it's
And
minimalistic.
yeah, and then with the PS4 Pro, like this is the PS4 right here. Like it's gonna be bigger. This is the PS4 Pro. It's gonna be bigger than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how that's gonna look.
Yeah, I like the design of both consoles. I'm definitely a fan of the PS5 more than the Xbox.
I
I
think they have a
like,
black version. I like it.
yeah, it to me it looks like a building like out of Singapore or like something out of Tokyo, like some
Yeah, a little
interesting
bit.
architecture. I
Yeah,
know everyone has a fucking router jokes all the time, but I think it looks more like a building to me. But I like how they kind of messed around, just did like a whole future concept and just ran with it. I like the two-tone design. It's pretty sick. I always like when companies just have fun with their design instead of taking it super seriously. Like the GameCube and the
oh yeah,
Switch.
the GameCube was cool, dude. The
Yeah,
GameCube
like
had a handle.
you can't
It
like
had a fucking handle.
you always are gonna recognize that console as soon as you see it. So I think that's part of the reason why they did that.
So, what's funny about the GameCube and like Nintendo in general is that most of the things that we take for granted on like a regular console, a lot of that stuff Nintendo did to start with. And I think the handle on the GameCube was supposed to be one of it, but I just don't think it took off.
Yeah, I like that handle though. But I like the whole cube design. It's sick. Plus the original Xbox, dog. The original Xbox looks so sick, even today. I
Yeah,
think the
it's really big.
360 looks really good. All the models of the 360 like look amazing.
I didn't like the first couple of 360s. I just thought it was too I don't know. I don't know what that the 360 PS3, like the first half of that, like the first three fourths of that generation.
Hmm.
Like I was in there up until Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. And then after that, I didn't have a PS3, and I wasn't playing video games for like 4 to 5 years. It was a while.
Sheesh. Did
Yeah,
you
so I
get
miss.
the
I
Slim?
didn't really get back into gaming until like 2012, 2013, and they didn't even really start playing games again until like 2014 or
Jeez.
2015.
Did
It
you
was like
have
around.
you had
Go
the
ahead.
$600 PlayStation
Yeah, dude.
3?
Originally, yeah, I had the 600, the one that was that had Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Um, it and it had the PS2 emulator in it, which was fucking rad.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I didn't like about it was, one, it cost a lot of money. Like it cost a lot of fucking money. It was really fucking heavy too. And
Hmm.
then to cap it off, like the games were also $10 more expensive than the previous console cycle. So not only did you have to buy like a more expensive console, but if you were a teenager living with your parents, you also had to trick your parents into paying 10 extra bucks for a game. And like to them, they're like, "Well, game's a game. Why can't you play it on your PS2? It's a
Dude,
disc."
I had my own apartment and I had to like take out a credit card just to buy that thing.
Oh, that's
And it was
hilarious.
loud as shit. And I remember like it had that like glossy, shiny top, so it kept getting like
Yeah,
scratched up. That used to piss
dude,
me off.
that scratchy glossy top was so cool until like you realize how dusty and dirty it would get,
Yeah, that thing was
and then it was
horrible.
just the worst thing ever.
And then I
I used
traded it in and got the Slim eventually.
See, I didn't like how the slim or that other stuff looked. I remember I used to have a job where I would go into people's houses all the time, and dude, the amount of like dusty ass PS3s I would see is just like it's enough to fill in a hole in the ground. It's insane.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean the new PS5 and the Xbox One. I mean, I think they're cool. They're just, I mean, I don't know. Most of the games that we're already playing now, they're probably gonna get ported over to it, and like if all they do is increase graphics, that's not like dropping my pants. That's not like getting me hard. Like I would like some other stuff.
Yeah, I didn't think the jump was going to be that substantial. To be honest, I think the loading times being next to nothing, I think was the next step, which I'm not really surprised at. I am happy that it's going to be a little more immersive because loading screens are kind of whack. So it should be a little bit better. I wasn't expecting that much of a jump in like graphical fidelity. But to be honest, I have to say, like, them doing Assassin's Creed and 30 frames per second, I'm like, fuck no. I thought that shit was gonna be done this generation. Like, no more 30 frames per second.
Like there were games in the PS2 that ran at 60 FPS, right?
Yeah.
Twisted Metal was one of them. Twisted Metal Black ran at 60 FPS on the PS2. So I don't know why, and I mean I'm not a technical wizard, but I don't know why they can't get games to run at 60 FPS.
Hey, they have a solid state hard drive. We have teraflops, all these kinds of things that I don't really understand, but
All these
apparently they're supposed
names,
to be
who
great.
knows what they are.
So look, I think 30 frames per second this generation is pretty much unacceptable in my point. In my opinion, I won't probably be buying any games that run at 30 frames per second. So, no.
What if you end up dating a girl who only has like all the games that run at 30 FPS? So like freaking Uncharted, The Last of Us, freaking Shadow of the Colossus. Like all she has is just a 30 FPS library.
I mean, if it's Pokemon, I'd let it go.
I
You know, she got that bag.
don't know what bag it is.
The money, the money, my guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone likes a sugar mama.
Hell yeah,
Then you can just go in along for the ride.
for sure.
Just be like, oh man, how many compliments you want today? Can I get some money for ice cream though?
Yeah, like PlayStation 5, man. And I think one of the games I hope is not 30 frames per second, but if you watch the PlayStation event,
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 8, like the trailer was looking kind of
That's probably gonna be
looking a
30
little bit
FPS.
stuttery, but when I tried to rewatch some of the trailers in like 4K after they, released them after the event. and I didn't see too much of a difference, so I'm hoping that's running at 60 frames per second. But other than that, there's a lot of games I want. Like Ratchet and Clank looks great. Uh, like all of PlayStation's exclusives just look sick. I want them all.
Yeah, I wonder what Microsoft's gonna do. I'm not gonna
Halo.
lie, with all, yeah, I mean Halo for sure. I mean Halo Infinite's supposed to come out this year. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a launch title at this point. Um, but I don't know, man. Like this whole thing that they did with Mixer earlier, so they just got me all kinds of screwed up.
Oh yeah, I was good. That was one of the things I wanted to bring up. Was like it's crazy how like Mixer is done and like Facebook bought that shit out.
Dude, I was streaming on that last year. I was
I
streaming on Mixer.
never would have expected that.
That's wild, man. I was always trying to get people in like Soul Calibur to try and get to stream on Mixer. I remember, I think one time the guy that runs 8-Way Run, I sent a message. I was like, "Hey, man, you should stream on Mixer." And then they responded like, "Oh yeah, we already do." But it was multi-streaming, so I was like, "Well, I mean, I did multi-streaming for a while, and if you ever do multi-streaming, if you're streaming to one platform, it doesn't feel like 100% legitimate because
Hmm.
you're spreading yourself out."
I get you.
But yeah, that um, the Mixer thing is wild because did you hear the about the deal that Ninja and Shroud supposedly got?
Yeah, they got like millions for that, and now they can just take that benefit. Like they have all of that. I'm pretty sure they have all of it at least up to their contract point. I'm not sure if they did in like a large lump sum or like a payment over time. I'm not really sure, but I think either way, with whatever platform they go to, they're gonna be good because they have a hardcore following.
I don't think Twitch is gonna. I don't think Ninja's gonna go back to Twitch.
Do you think he's just gonna go to Facebook?
I don't even think he's gonna go to Facebook. I think he's gonna go to YouTube. Because
Oh, YouTube.
do you remember how Twitch screwed him over when he left Mixer?
Not so much now.
Okay, so they left. So Twitch was experimenting with this account. I don't know why his account got experimented
Oh,
on,
when they
and
put
they
those extra things on his account?
yeah. So they made it into like almost like a 24-hour like almost like Mixer was doing this, but they call it a hype channel, which is
Like
like a
the front
24-hour always running stream that's taking bits and stuff from other people's streams.
Uh-huh.
And Twitch was doing that, and what they did is somebody was able to I think in Europe was able to not hack the algorithm but gain it, and then they were able to put pornography on it.
Yeah. I think I heard about that.
Yeah, and that was running on his channel with his all his branding and stuff on there. Like it's just like, and then I don't know why they did that. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't have just said that he was offline
Dude, I
like
didn't
everybody else.
believe that Twitch had like a pornography problem until I saw like a video on YouTube and they were like, yeah, you gotta check the just chatting section and all these like random art sections. I'd never
Hmm.
been in there, so I went and looked at a few. I'm like, wow, they're correct.
Yeah, any video hosting website has a pornography problem. Like, I would be scared to be like a video moderator for YouTube because of all just the crazy ass shit that people would upload to a video.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, or even like imagine being like a video moderator for a website like Pornhub where you're already uploading like extreme stuff. Like,
Yeah, then you have copyright stuff, so
because like with YouTube, people upload people dying all the time, and they always have to get it removed.
yeah.
People upload. If you go look up into those channels that have 1 or 2 viewers, and they've been up for like 6 years, and all they do is upload like some racist ass shit. Like, there's people that do that, and there's people that probably take it to an extreme that make videos that we don't get to see.
I don't want to see any of that.
Yeah, and then like I can guarantee you that there's probably either murder or borderline murder being uploaded to Pornhub. And that someone
Please,
has
no.
to watch that, and someone has to be like, someone has to watch it to make sure that it can't go on there.
Well,
And that's insane. That's crazy.
that's what Pornhub needs to hire those kinds of moderators for. I'm glad I don't have that job.
There's a really interesting podcast It was on NPR. I can't remember what it was, and they were talking to a person that used to do moderation for Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
where they would have to moderate posts. And I think it was a chick, and I believe she got PTSD because people would update like, you know, adults doing things that they weren't supposed to do with other adults or with people younger than them, and then or with animals. A lot of animal shit, a lot of disembar. What's it called when you cut off limbs?
Disembowelment,
Huh?
dismemberment.
Yeah, dismemberment. A lot of that stuff, and it's just like she just couldn't do it anymore, and she just got PTSD because of it.
I wouldn't blame her, but that's kind of Facebook. Like, you know how you can go on Twitter and you see a lot of people trolling when they make like bad takes and shit, and it's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
hmm
Facebook is like the inverse of that, but everyone's pretty much serious.
Yeah, Facebook is
I
dude, I
hate
don't like.
fucking Facebook, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. That's why I don't. Anyone that goes from Mixer to Facebook, I don't know how they're.
Yeah, I feel really bad for them because Facebook
Because
is just
like Facebook was really
something
cool.
else. It's a whole nother beast.
Yeah, Facebook was really cool like 8 years ago when I was using it.
Yeah, now there's like 9 million like ads.
I think their user numbers. I think it's like 2 billion.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a good amount of users. It's just the app itself and all the ads and all that shit. It's just
Yeah, and then
horrible.
it downloads a whole bunch of data to your freaking cache on your phone, and then it takes up memory, and then it just stays on there so it can load faster. But you know, there's just so much. I hate Facebook. I hate the app. I hate everything about it. I hate the fact that Facebook has Messenger, and then
Yeah,
for you to use Messenger on Facebook, you have to download a separate app, which makes no fucking sense.
it makes
Why they're
sense if they're tracking
why?
everything you do, recording all your information, watching all your conversations and whatnot. It's basically just spyware at this point.
But yeah, a lot of this stuff is. I mean, unfortunately,
100%.
they sell all of your they sell a lot of your information. That's one thing I liked about that Andrew Yang guy was his whole thing was like, oh, we're gonna make privacy, we're gonna monetize privacy. You know, these companies monetize it all the time. We're gonna take that power away from them. We're gonna give it to the people, and then people can decide how much money they can charge companies to, so that how much money they can charge companies so that you know, if you sign up for a website, they would have to pay you because they're gonna sell that information.
Yeah.
Fuck those websites.
Yeah, it's creepy, man. Because you'll be talking about Wingstop with your friend. You won't search Wingstop or anything. You'll start getting like ads for Wingstop, and you're like, "How did you know? Are you recording my
Dude,
voice?"
I was watching a streamer called Paul Link yesterday. He
Hmm.
was finishing up Final Fantasy VII Remake. And yeah, dude, okay, so back to Facebook real quick. Facebook right now, currently, as of 2020, has 2.6 billion monthly active users.
Hmm.
That they have like a fourth of the world's population on that goddamn website.
Yeah. Imagine if China was able to use Facebook.
I bet you they are. I bet you they're doing things.
I thought it was banned there.
Uh, I'm. I bet you they. No. They have a form of social media. It's just regulated, and I bet you they are using Facebook to spy on stuff.
Probably.
Because
I
that's
would
what I
not
mean.
be
That's what the Russians did
surprised.
during the election. Like whenever people said that the Russians hacked the election,
Hmm.
like what that means is that they created a whole bunch of fake Facebook, Instagram, Twitter accounts, and Snapchat and like, Reddit account. Like they created a whole bunch of accounts, and what they did is that they got these accounts. Some of them were bots, some of them were managed by real people, and what they did is they forced interaction between people who had opposing views,
Hmm.
and they kept doing this all the time so they can get people to fight. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of what gets viral in social media is stuff that gets a lot of engagements.
Yeah.
So like you'll be scrolling down, you're like, oh, this thing somehow has 2.4 thousand likes and 112 retweets. Oh, I should take a look at this. Oh, I might retweet this as well.
Yeah.
And
100%.
so what they would do is like they would go on Facebook. Facebook was the worst one of this, and they would get like This was a really what they did. I remember is like I think they organized a Black Lives Matters um, uh, protest, and then across the street from it, the same like the Russians they organized a pro gun rally, and what they would do is that
The
they would
perfect
do this all the
storm.
time. That they would organize all these like groups
They
and
were
they get
trying to
them to
get
fight each other.
conservatives to bash with some black Democrats. I get you.
Yeah, and there's some really wacky ass stories about like how there. I think there's one dude was a bodybuilder and he was told to organize a group and he didn't know who he was being told from. He thought it was like somebody up the chain of this activist organization, and they traced it back to like Russia.
So he just did it anyway?
Well, because he didn't know, he thought he thought he was doing stuff for the greater good.
Dude, that's literally like the whole what is it, bald for Black Lives Matter when Reddit started that up.
Yes, that's
That
exactly
shit is
what this is.
nuts. It's like, do you check to see where this shit comes from, or do you just see it? You're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do this.
they posted like was a picture of a celebrity that had their head shaved, right? A
Yeah.
chick. Yeah, they posted a picture that had her chick, and it just started trending, and that's what the Russians were doing during the 2016 election. But like with a lot of like small and big topics. You know what they would do a lot? They would make a lot of Instagram meme pages.
Oh yeah, those work perfectly.
Yeah, and God, there's a lot of really good podcasts on this topic, like from different people that made it. But what they would do is that they would put joke, 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 and like on the 10th or 20th post, they would put like a random ass political meme, and
That's
then they
how it
would go back to
starts.
yeah, joke, 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 and then political meme, and eventually they would slowly try and get the page to turn into like some kind of political discourse.
Yeah. What is that, indoctrination?
I don't know,
It's like
but
what you do over time. Kind of like how the Nazis did that to like the Jews, unfortunately. They did like made
yeah,
propaganda that slowly made them into the bad guy. It's crazy how the
yeah,
media can do that, man.
yeah. I mean,
Maybe it's not
it's
indoctrination. There's some other term for it.
no, 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 no. You're indoctrination. I see what you mean. Sorry, I thought you meant like there's an Instagram page called Doctor Nation.
Oh no, no.
Indoctrination. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Me and a friend we were just talking about that because I was well actually I won't get into it, but yeah, yeah, indoctrination basically when you get someone to think a certain way.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
what I
get
thought it was.
it's
Put my
what's what
college
cults
degree to
do.
use.
It's also what a lot of people online. I feel like people online, especially when it comes to games, are like falsely indoctrinated
Oh
into
yeah, hundred
believing
percent.
things that they think are happening but probably aren't.
Yeah, that's why like everything on Twitter is just like retweets or just opinions that are just repeated opinions of someone, a figurehead or someone who they hold in high esteem, and it's just that. Like, you've seen like the Last of Us 2 backlash and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. I was just about to bring that up because back to that, like it got review bombed like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it got so many reviews as soon as it went on sale, and there's no possible way those people had the tw- the 20 to 30 hours they had to probably what play and complete the game
Of course not.
for them to post a review literally 4 or 5 minutes after it goes on sale. I'm actually kind of curious to see what the rating for it is on the PSN.
I don't know. I read an article, I think, and said Europe, it was like the fastest selling PlayStation 4 game so far.
I, I mean, I bet it's not a terrible game. I just people just they just love to bitch about dumb fucking shit.
Yeah, I watched a couple of like reviews. I think the
Hmm.
reviews that were more in like the middle seemed like they were probably the best ones to judge the game based on because a lot of people were just like raging hardcore and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Is
Yeah,
that
like that
fucking
there was
serious?
like a transgender chick and people were mad about that, and then there was the gay stuff, and I was like, well, that stuff doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Like that's
it's always the SJW's fault.
yeah, like
It's
that's
always
such like
pandering.
low. Yeah, it, it's like such low hanging fruit to pick on.
Yeah, it's like that's the first thing like all these reactionaries go to, and it's the weirdest thing for me to people who love that content because you've been watching that content since like 2000 fucking 15, 2016, and it's 2020, and you're still watching the same shit. Like, there's no way that every piece of media is controlled by the SJWs. That's just
Yes, there's
nuts. There's no
yeah,
way that that's even true.
100% agree. There's
And like,
it's impossible. It's like the flat Earth people who think that all of a sudden all the governments in the world, every single one, including fucking North Korea, is in on this. Like the
yeah,
world is flat.
like how is everyone in on this? No, no, like I don't fucking care about half of that shit. When they were doing the whole thing with Overwatch and they were like Tracer's gay, Soldier
Oh
76
yeah,
is gay. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
the
That's
the
fine.
yeah, I remember the Tracer was gay. So even in hindsight, the weird thing I remember, people got mad because of Tracer's butt pose,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
which
That was
I mean
stupid.
that seems like it's a nothing issue now.
That seems like a Karen issue.
Yes.
That seems like Karen saw Tracer looking kind of good. She's like,
Some
oh, look at this
Karen saw
athletic
her
little.
7-year-old son playing the Overwatch beta and go like, "Why is she standing like that though?"
Oh my god, that was nuts. And the funny thing is, when they introduced those characters, didn't they do it through like comics? They didn't just like go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, the whole time this character's gay. You guys have been playing as a gay character." They did it through
No,
like a comic book.
the only character they kind of did that with was I think it was two characters. They did something like that with. One of them was Symmetra, where the developers, I think outside of whatever medium they were making Overwatch with,
Hmm.
they they agreed that it was that Symmetra was autistic.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about that.
And yeah, so that was I think that was one of them, and I think the other one was that Soldier 76 was gay. And what's weird this about those two, I could be wrong. I'm not an Overwatch lore master. If I'm wrong, someone correct me because I'm
Yeah, for
probably wrong.
sure.
But yeah, those two like things kind of came out of nowhere, at least in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I don't remember the Symmetra one, but I felt like the other two. I felt like there was like a comic they released in a strip, and it kind of
Oh,
showed
they
them.
probably did.
It didn't outright say it, but it definitely showed it. And I'm like, that's a good way to do it. Why not?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, and even then, like it, even if a person's gay, it makes no fucking like it makes no. It's like even if we were to discover the world is flat like tomorrow, what does that even change?
It
Like if
changes the
Soldier
fact that I can
76
say that I
has been
shitted
take
on you and I got you because I'm a flat earther and you're a round earther. So I
because if
got you. I'm better than you.
because if Soldier 76 has been taking multiple penises for the better half of his 30 years in virtual life, I don't know how that changes him killing people.
It really doesn't. It made no
It's like,
difference to me.
what if every character they killed in the game happened to turn gay in heaven?
What the fuck?
He kills them with his gun. They die. They go to heaven, and then God's like, "And you're gay."
No. Yeah, I saw that they made SpongeBob gay now.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, I thought he was like, I thought he didn't like anyone. Like,
Yeah, I always thought he was like more like
he was
if I
the
had to put
dude
a
from,
if I had to coin a word to him, like asexual, just like not
yeah,
attracted to
asexual,
anything.
that's the term. Because, the little kid from Archie, what's his name? Jughead. Jughead was also asexual.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I used to read the Archie comics and the Sonic comics.
Yeah, dude, you're 100% right. So I was looking up the 76 gay bisexual stuff, and yeah, it's just a picture of it's Anna looking at a picture of Soldier with some dude, and Soldier just kind of standing right by him.
Yeah, like all they did was just like
It
they
was just
showed
comic.
it. They didn't just outright say it to like get you in some gotcha moment or anything like that. It's just what they
Yeah,
wanted to make the character.
yeah, and which they can because it's their character.
It was like a year later too. You can't say that
Yeah,
they were pandering or anything.
yeah, it's just it makes no
Shame
sense.
on Overwatch for making a diverse game. You know,
People are
forced
wild.
diversity in Overwatch. Jesus.
That's wild. Just
Imagine warriors or mercenaries, whatever they are, from all over the world being different. What a world.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure if aliens came and invaded us, they would not be like that dude's gay.
No, they'd be like, why do you guys have all these stupid ass problems that you haven't solved yet?
Yeah. It's like, are you? What was that thing that they used to say? It's not Adam and Eve. It's Adam and Steve or something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, one of my teachers who was he was pretty pro gay and stuff. He was um he was just like he was making a joke about that, and I remember somebody a student was asking him about it, and he was just like, well, like even if you don't believe in like people being gay and stuff, what does it even matter what they do in their house in their own house? Like, what does their next door neighbor have to do with what they do in their bedroom? Like,
I You'd have to ask those
why
kinds
is
of
this
people.
person so fucking mad that Adam and Steve are so happy?
You gotta ask them. That's the $1 million question right there.
Yeah, why you? Yeah, oh, dude, I saw a great Twitter take on it. Actually, it was like rights is not like a pie. Whenever someone else gets new rights, it's not taking away from your rights.
Yeah, they're just gaining the same rights as you. It's kind of leveling the playing field, which was kind of the whole point of most of these protests and all that craziness. But someone's got to have a hot take somewhere
Yeah,
for
I mean,
exercising your right to protest. And definitely not. I'm not okay with like looting and all that good stuff, rioting. Honestly, I don't want anyone to get like. At the end of the day, I want everyone to go home to their families. I don't want cops to get hurt. I don't want protesters to get hurt. It's kind of whack that it's kind of devolved into some like gotcha schmear campaign for like both sides. But
yeah,
that's human nature.
it's definitely a gotcha thing. Like the amount of people I see on Facebook posting stuff about like, this stuff, this stuff, that. I'm just like, more like why?
Yeah, it's pretty sad,
It's,
man.
yeah, and
But at least
especially
gaming's good.
like I was talking to a friend and I was just like, it's pretty fucking weird that the NRA for the longest time was talking about like he's like, oh, the government's gonna be able to come to your house. They're gonna take your stuff. Oh, they're gonna infringe on your rights.
Hit you with that
They're gonna
martial
be
law.
detaining you for no reason, and they're not gonna be reading you your what's it called, mandala rights? No, uh, the rights that they have to read to you before they arrest you. You have the right to remain
Oh,
silent.
Miranda rights.
Miranda rights, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not gonna read your Miranda rights, and it's really like this is how a lot of like lobby groups and companies and stuff and how they look at you. So I shouldn't take some stuff too serious. The NRA was about that for like the longest time, 20 or 30 years, and then all of a sudden we have riots and all that stuff is actually happening. The government is going into the streets. They're moving people to the side. They're detaining people that they shouldn't be detaining. They're taking stuff from them that they shouldn't be taking. They're just beating people for no goddamn reason. If you were to just take a picture of it and not name what country it is and show it to some random person in the world, be like, name this country, they'd probably be like, probably a dictator. I don't know which one, but probably
Probably
one.
a dictatorship. Yeah, man.
Uh, but the point I'm trying to make is that like the NRA was so pro, it was pro gun so that it was anti government. Like, oh, everyone's gonna get their guns so that if the government ever comes for you, you can fight back.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole argument. And they have been suspiciously quiet this whole goddamn time.
Come on, man. You know why? Police have been buying like military grade arms enough to start like small wars in every freaking state. They're not gonna take them on. You can talk a big game as much as you want, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. And it's just I don't know. There's a lot of real world problems, and we probably spend too much of this podcast probably talking about real world problems.
Nah, it's
But
cool.
at the same time, like it just highlights how ridiculous some of these video game problems actually are.
Well, this is
Like,
what it's all stemmed from. Like gamers have had a lot of time to like talk about these issues, so it's easy to just go on Twitter and watch or go on someone's Twitch channel and get their thoughts. And there's been a lot of weird takes. I'm like, how are you as a gamer who's just been sitting in your room the entire fucking time through quarantine gonna like talk shit about people who go outside and try to affect change. It's so dumb. And it's okay to just not speak on it. I don't know why we haven't normalized that yet, but it's okay to like be ignorant on a situation. Because
Well,
me as a black person, I'm not even sure how to maneuver in a
yeah,
lot of those situations. Like I don't want to get beat. At the same time, I don't want to have to protect people who are also getting beat. I don't want to go to jail. I also want to come home to my family. So there's no right or wrong answer right now. We're all learning. This is like the new experience for all of us.
yeah. It's it's definitely a new experience for everybody. Um, I don't know. I just, I roll my eyes all the time at people like kind of criticizing video game companies on mostly social issues, not stuff of like how like Riot treats their like employees, but stuff like this character is this or this character is that, and it's because of all of there's there's just more stuff to be actually worried about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to be worried about, a lot of real life things, your life, your friends' lives, your family's lives. How you're gonna get treated in the street, or oh man, this character in this video game may or may not be trans. I may or may not know, but I will not play this game to find out. But I will yell at the developer.
Oh, they're gonna be mad when Cyberpunk comes out then,
Oh, dude,
because
people
that
were
one's gonna
losing.
have a lot of stuff. You
Dude,
can
I'm
make
gonna.
whatever you want, do whatever you want.
If
So
I get that game, I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna make my character a walking vibrator.
a walking.
That way, nobody can say shit to me.
I'm gonna make mine like
Um.
Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy with one testicle.
Oh, did he actually? Was it confirmed that he has one testicle?
No, I'm just gonna make that just to piss people off.
Oh,
Yo,
that'd
that
be
game
great.
looks pretty cool. It's just sad that it got delayed again. I know a couple of my friends are pretty sad. Shout outs to my friend Faisal.
Actually, I want what channels or like what YouTube channels do you like to watch, dude?
Me?
Like when it comes to like this video game stuff, because the way you're talking about Cyberpunk reminds me. I was watching Alana Pierce's video on it a while back ago, and she's pretty rational about her videos and stuff. Like, what who do you like to watch?
I've watched her. I've recently gotten to this dude named Vosh. I told you about him.
Oh yeah, his stuff started coming up in my recommended. I still haven't watched it though.
Yeah, who is it? This kid, Afro Senju XL. He's this black guy. He's pretty cool. I like him. I used to watch this one dude named Young Ripper, I think 59 or something like that, but he's been kind of like super negative as of late, and
Oh,
I'm like, I can't really get down with that too much. After I just see like maybe five negative videos from a YouTuber, I'm probably not gonna watch their stuff anymore. That's just me personally. I know
yeah,
it farms a lot of clicks, but it puts me in a bad mood. I try to filter what I watch, you know.
yeah. There was this YouTuber. You probably heard of him. Young, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, but sometimes after a while, I can't watch his videos just because it's just too much of a downer.
Sometimes I feel like he's a downer, but I think he's also pretty real. Like he looks out for gamers, especially like his last one about the recent Star Wars Squadron game,
Yeah,
and he was
I do
talking
think
about,
that
watch if it
you're
has
right.
microtransactions. And he told me that the game had a lower price than $60, which I didn't know. So
Oh yeah, how what's what actually what's I didn't know that either. What's the price gonna be?
I think it's 39.99, so $40, 5v5 shooter, kind of like Rogue Squadron style. It looks pretty
Huh.
interesting, and it's supposedly there's like
Supposedly.
no microtransactions. You can actually unlock stuff in game. I don't know
Oh,
how true that is because EA loves them microtransactions. So
I bet you it's gonna be true for like 3 or 4 months, and
You're
then
better than me. I give it
it's gonna
like two
change.
weeks. Yeah, who do you like to watch on YouTube, man?
Um, Let me actually go to my YouTube channel because I can't think of everyone at the top of my head. Kind of funny is probably the one that comes up to. It's probably the one that I used to watch a lot. I still really like them. They just put out so much content now that I can't keep up with it all the time. But whenever
Yeah,
they put out something I like, I do watch them.
they post like every
Angry,
day.
huh?
Don't they do like videos every day?
Dude, they do like a lot of videos every day.
Hmm.
It's insane how much videos they do. Like if you know how much it takes to make like a video, they do so much all the time. I like Angry Joe. I think he's pretty funny. I like that he looks like he puts a lot of work into his videos. I can tell.
Yeah,
Um, that new video game news section that they started doing, I think like a couple months ago, I really, really enjoy that. It's
mm.
like 20 minutes long. They put out a few videos a day. They do it once a week, and it's super digestible, pretty easy to listen to. I like them. Um, I like watching a lot. Since I got back into video games like 2015, I really got into watching Let's Plays. So I watched the Two Best Friends. I've been rewatching their old catalog.
Yeah. You told me about them. They got some good stuff. I like their podcast. They're funny. They
Dude,
got good
dude,
personalities.
their podcast is amazing. It
Yeah, it's
sucks that
pretty
they split
good.
up.
I like
Yeah,
it.
but it's Castle Super Beast now. If anyone wants to check it out, but it does suck that they split up. But it's really good. Those are guys that they've been podcasting for a very long time. You can tell they've been doing it for a long time. They're super comfortable, and one thing I like is that they're not afraid to like just talk about certain things, or if they know that people are talking about something, just to kind of like fluff it up, they'll just skip over it because they're like, "Well, it's already been talked about."
Yeah. I mean, there's like 100 gamer takes about freaking Last of Us 2. It's not gonna do
Yeah.
us any good to talk about how much we hate the fucking story and these fucking characters and they killed Joel, all this shit. I'm like, I don't really fucking care, man. I am
Um.
interested in like Alana Pierce's opinion on the game because the one thing I was looking for was to see more females review it, but I couldn't find any. So
So there is actually a video game podcast, a female led video game podcast I listen to. What's Good Games? They're probably not going to do one because they said they're going to spoil it. But I think give them like a week or so, and I think they'll be out
yeah,
with an
because I'd
episode.
like to see that.
Um. Yeah, but that's Andrea Renee, and she did some work for Kind of Funny. And actually, when we were younger, she was doing a lot of stuff with like E3 and stuff in the background.
Hmm.
She's a host. Probably you've seen her on G4 back in the day. Um, but she has her own YouTube channel with her friends, and it's a really, I think it's a really funny podcast. I think they do something that's really good, and that they make their podcast legitimately like very very funny.
Yeah.
That one's called What's Good Games.
What's good games? Cool. We'll have to
Yeah,
steal their content and use it for this.
but back to the Two Best Friends. One of my favorite like Let's Plays they did is Final Fantasy X. Did you ever play Final Fantasy X?
Absolutely. It's one of the best
Okay,
ones.
so you know about Wakka, right?
Yeah.
And that
Wakka.
Wakka is a goddamn racist.
Yeah. He
He
didn't
wants to
like
see those
the
filthy outbed.
he didn't
He
like
wants some
Yuki's people or yeah, what's her name? Yuffie?
the outbed. Oh no,
What's her
Riku.
not
No.
Riku, yeah, Riku, my bad.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the
And
owl man.
one of my favorite lines of that whole thing is that, oh yeah, they could be in disguise. They could just blow up, brother, like fireworks or something like that. I was like, whoa.
Yo, I felt so
But
bad for Riku because she
you,
was just sitting there. He's just like, man, fuck me out, man. And
yeah,
she's just like,
exactly.
I was just like,
And then
oh shit.
the other part is that there's one scene where he actually calls them monkeys. He's like, those filthy grease monkeys and their stupid machina.
Yeah, 'cause he went around on the snowmobile, right?
Yeah, yeah, but they're in the snow section.
Yo, imagine being that racist. Like, I'm not riding on your fucking snowmobile. Got me fucked up. Oh, that's horrible. Fucking
But
Waka.
the best friend, the two best friends, they did a let's play of Final Fantasy X, and dude, the whole thing, like, it takes a while to get there, a couple episodes, but the whole thing, it's really fun to watch because they just start ragging on Wakka and how they, because when you go back and you play that game, like, as an adult, you realize, oh, this dude in your party, he's just racist all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't turn off, it's just racist all the time.
Riku's just sitting there like, well, fuck me, okay, okay. It's not like
And
I
it
helped
just
the party or anything.
yeah, I think at one point in that LP they call him Grandmaster Wakka.
It's like the dude in Gran Torino. That's Wakka when he grows up.
Oh God. Yeah, it's yeah, no. Yeah, they're really really good. I like let me see. In terms of gaming, I like watching Review Tech USA every now and then.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah,
He's
he's
old school, man.
yeah, he's very old school, and it's cool because he's just an older guy.
Yeah, I like him. He's very non-biased as he can be. He's a pretty cool dude. I like him.
Yeah, Wooly versus Maximilian Dude.
Yeah,
Um, that's kind of it. Like that's honestly what I've been watching. Like oh,
man.
you know what I've really been watching recently? Like I've been binging a lot of it. This dude called Drumsy. He makes a whole bunch of videos about VR chat.
Oh God.
Dude, but dude, his
Oh
it was
my
those videos I
God.
showed you. Yeah,
Fucking V
I was binge
VR
watching
chat.
that almost all day today while I was working on stuff in the background. Dude, those things are very entertaining to watch.
I feel like VR chat is like Reddit, but on PlayStation.
Yeah,
It's just like
I
Reddit, just on VR chat.
you can actually play if you want. You can actually play VR chat on your PC without actual VR.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much it costs.
Oh
Um,
God.
I actually kind of I have to see. Maybe it might be free, dude.
That's
So
something your depraved ass would do. I'm not doing that.
no, but you just go in there. Yeah, you can play on Steam. Let's see how much this is, and it's very very. The reviews are very very positive.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's free to play, but it's just the amount of dumb shit that goes on in that game is hilarious. It's just a
Yeah.
bunch of stupid shit.
A lot of memeable content is farmed there.
Yes.
Definitely.
Do you know that way?
Uganda Knuckles. Holy shit. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, dude, that came out of VR chat.
It definitely did. I remember the video.
Um,
You know, it's
let me see
crazy
what
that you
time it
brought
is.
up Final Fantasy because that was actually how I met you. Well, when I first got aware of your presence on the internet. You were streaming on YouTube playing Final Fantasy. This is origins of this podcast. I saw this guy playing Final Fantasy 13. I'm like, wow, this game fucking sucks. Why are you playing it?
Was it YouTube? Yeah, it must have been YouTube, huh? I wasn't streaming. I don't think I was streaming on Twitch at that
Yeah,
time.
you weren't on Twitch at that time.
And then when I went to Twitch, I was like, oh, you actually have a Twitch channel. I was like, oh, you have a lot more followers than I do. Um, yeah, no, that was I was streaming to YouTube and Mixer at the time. Yeah, Final Fantasy. I really like 13. I've always said it, man. They just need to re-release it with some changes, and that could be a banger ass game.
I was so confused when it was like Lassie, Foul C, and then God, and then Grand Pulse. They had all these terms. I'm like, bro, this is just information overload. And I didn't understand the weapon system. I was
Yeah, it's
pissed. And I hated the characters.
what's funny is that FF7, the remake, has so much of Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 15 in it,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
it's
just
very linear.
way more optimized.
Yeah, 100%.
But Rich, I hate to do this to you, but I actually have to get going because I have to buy my nephew's McDonald's.
Oh, no, it's all good, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, for anyone who doesn't know, I do babysit a lot, but it actually pays pretty well.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's just sometimes like right now, like their mom just messaged me and I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I told her like a while back ago, like give me like 20 minutes.
Nah, it's all
But
good.
we're at the 15 we're at the like the 50-minute mark, which is almost an hour.
Okay.
See, and like to me, I don't know how it felt like to you, but to me, like the time kind of flew by.
Yeah. It felt pretty
It's like,
natural.
yeah. I mean, we talked about way too much stuff, but I mean, we're having fun.
Yeah. That's the whole point. Have a good, fun conversation that people can relate to and hopefully chime in the comments. Let us know how we did. Any comments or topics you want us to talk about.
Oh
We're
yeah, for
always
sure.
here.
And this will go up. The version of this will go up on YouTube. Um, if you're listening to on Apple Podcasts or yeah, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Oh, no, not Spotify yet. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and then whatever feed catcher you use. Feel free to subscribe, give us a follow, give us a star. You can follow me on Twitter at ramavalos_YT.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Yo It's Richmatic. Same thing on Twitch, same thing on Twitter, and YouTube. No, YouTube, I'm just Richmatic. There you go.
Yeah, on YouTube, my channel's iHeart Gaming. Not to be confused with iHeart Game Man, as I've been told.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Ooh.
Dude, somebody told me that. I told them, like, hey, I have a YouTube channel. They're like, oh, what is it? It's like iHeart Gaming. I was like, did you call your channel iHeart Game Man? It's
Yeah,
like, no.
100%.
But maybe I should have focus tested it more.
Unique branding.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll how often do you want to do an episode?
Yeah, we can try and do it like weekly or at least
We can do weekly.
3 times a month.
Yeah, we can do weekly.
Yeah, weekly would be cool.
Yeah. And then like Rich said, if you guys have any topics or anything you guys want to talk to us about, just let us know, give us a comment, or just also if you want to know whether this podcast is good or not, give us some actual constructive feedback.
For sure. Maybe next time we'll stay on topic.
We'll do a lot more stuff. This is the first episode. First episode's always rough.
That's what she
Anyway.
said.
We'll catch you guys. Yeah. We'll catch you guys later, y'all. Have a good night.
Peace and love, y'all.